Hey everyone, I'm Jelsy. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. For today, I want to talk about the season 2 premiere of The Chosen. It was epic. Okay, I was so looking forward to this and it was finally here. I got to watch the episode alongside my family and it was so great. I want to mention some of my favorite moments from the premiere episode. Before I begin, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to this channel and also follow me on Instagram at iamJelsy videos. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen episode 1 of season 2 of The Chosen, be sure to watch the episode first, then watch this video. So of course I have to start saying how epic that first scene was. A lot of people were mentioning how we couldn't miss that first scene and I was so intrigued. I was like, I wonder what it is. And then, wow. So it was such a surprise. I did not expect it and I immediately knew that this was in the future. I thought that we were only going to see Simon, but no, we get to see more of the disciples in the future. I have a quick video of my reaction when I saw this happen.
The first time? Out on Andrew's old sloop.
It was at the moment when I thought my career and my reputation were about to be destroyed.
I was shook. And they're telling someone a bit of their story of how each of them met Jesus. And they were telling this to John as he's starting to write what it is today, the Gospel of John. I mean, I did not expect that at all for them to make this jump into the future. I loved seeing that there's still this camaraderie between them and we get to see like Simon and Andrew just joking around and Simon like teasing Andrew and what he's saying. And in this moment, Mother Mary says to John that he should be, in mourning for the loss of his brother. And for a second there, I'm like, wait, brother. Okay, I'm trying to figure it out. And then John says that it won't probably be the last time that this happens to one of them. And in this moment, I realized that they were actually talking about James, John's brother, Big James, because James was actually the first disciple to be martyred. So I was like mind blown. John feels that he needs to write this at this moment because one, I assume that by this point the disciples were spread around different countries, spreading, the good news. So in this time of mourning, they were all together again. And number 2, because they were getting older, so he wanted to get as much information from everybody as possible. John is trying to figure out how to start the book, and he has this conversation with Mother Mary, and he knows that he wants to start at the beginning, but what beginning exactly? Mother Mary is like, you'll figure it out. This opening was it was amazing. And then we move on to present times. The disciples are gathered together where they're staying and they're actually waiting for Jesus, but then he's not there. They're trying to figure out Jesus's itinerary because there are many people that want to listen to Jesus and there are crowds gathering. And Matthew is trying to figure out analytics, like of how many days they'll be there and how much light they have in a day. So he comes to the conclusion of how many men they would have to reach per hour. And he says that it's 83.333 and the threes are infinite. It's very specific. And then Simon says like, yeah, so what's 0.33 of a man? It was so funny. And see, this is one of the things that I'm most looking forward to seeing in season 2 is those interactions between the disciples, because here together are different people. They have different personalities, they have different ways of thinking, of analyzing things, and in this episode we see this right away. And Jesus has to deal with that and work on those dynamics and help them to work together. When Matthew sees them, he's like, who are these people? And so is Thomas like, I don't know you. So Matthew just starts to close the door because he says like, you've got the wrong place. And then Thomas is like, no, like we're looking for Jesus. And I love this moment that Matthew is like, well, everybody is. So he closes the door again. Mary Magdalene arrives and she lets them in. And Thomas introduces Mary to Ramah's father, Kafni. And apparently he's been a bit difficult along the long travel for them to get there. So as Kafni enters, Thomas is like, he apologizes in advance. He's like, I'm sorry. There's this scene where Jesus wants to thank these men that have done this amazing service, and he's actually referring to Big James and John, who actually plowed and planted a field, both of them by themselves. So Simon is like, so let us escort you to where you're going to see these men. And Jesus is like, okay, if you want to. They've literally walked 2 steps to where Big James and John were, and Jesus is like, we've arrived. This is where I wanted to go, and you guys wanted to escort me to. Kafni is about to go back home. Kafni agreed to this because he doesn't really believe in Jesus, and he thinks that Jesus is borderline like blasphemous, but he's indebted to him, so he agrees to this even though he's not very fond of the idea and he's having a hard time. Basically says to Thomas, like, the next time I see you, you're gonna be asking for my daughter's hand. And Thomas is like, wait, what? No. And Kafni is like, look, I'm not stupid. I see what's going on. Like, he knows something's up between Thomas and Ramah. He asked Thomas, to take care of her and keep her safe. And I really like the scene. Jesus and the disciples go to Malech's home. He's a Samaritan. Malech begins telling his story to Jesus and the disciples, and they actually tie in the story of the Good Samaritan. So it turns out that Malech was one of the thieves, and he had done this because of economic necessity. So all those years he felt so bad, and he felt this burden because he thought that the man that they had left on the road had died. And then Jesus reassures him that he did not die. Somebody helped him, and he just felt so bad, like at Jesus, like, why are you helping me? Jesus hugs him and Jesus forgives him. Jesus and the disciples arrive at Photina's home. They're going to be staying there. And her husband Uriah, he asks who among them is Jesus, and then he invites them to come in, and he does this disclaimer. He's like, okay, there's this room here that is haunted by my dead grandmother, and Jesus is like, oh, I'll take that one. That was hilarious. And Photina says to her husband, like, do you know who he is? He's not afraid of ghosts. And then Andrew comes in and he's like, I might be. Jesus explains what he was trying to teach Big James and John when he asked them to plow the field. Turns out that the owner of the field was a Samaritan. And Big James and John were very clear at the beginning that they weren't very fond of Samaritans, that they didn't like them. Jesus says that in this moment that they're planting right now, and Big James and John, with their dislike of the Samaritans, are getting in the way of what Jesus wants to do. Like, that's not the idea, that they're all the same, that they're not bigger than anyone else. And this is where Jesus nicknames them the Sons of Thunder. So in this moment, Jesus and John are there trying to select which scroll of Moses they would read. John was mentioning how he really enjoyed the beginning, creation, and Jesus agrees to that, and he agrees to read that one. And I love that Jesus says in this moment, like, this is one of my favorite memories. Like, that creation was a favorite memory of his, because of course he was there. We get to see John like reacting to Jesus's reading, and he becomes, emotional, which, such an amazing moment there. Then we go flash forward to John thinking about that moment and thinking about creation, and then decides to begin with that in the beginning. was the word. And I love how they connected those moments together. I mean, I can't wait to see what's to come. It's so exciting. So those were some of my favorite moments of the season 2 premiere of The Chosen. Congrats to the cast and crew and Dallas Jenkins, the director, because I really enjoyed it, and I know that this will continue to be a blessing to so many people. If you haven't seen The Chosen, go ahead and check it out. You have to download the Chosen app on your phone. It's so easy to do. You can send it to your smart TV. I mean, not only is the story amazing, but the way that they've written it, and visually it looks great, and the actors are so wonderful. I'll leave the link below so you can download the app and start watching season 1 and catch up for season 2. Let me know in the comments if you saw this episode and what was your favorite moment. I would love to know. So thank you again for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. See you on my next video. God bless. Bye.